What's going on, everyone? This is your astrology horoscope for July 12th, 2023. I'm astrologer Alex Skiles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you're all having a great week. It's Tuesday, and we have a lot of curveballs coming at us from all directions. Today, the moon is going to be conjuncting Uranus, and this is always exciting, but we definitely have to expect any possible outcome here. And this is just, there's a lot of restless feelings, unsettling feelings and emotions that are bubbling up. And it's just kind of like we can really feel that electrical current running through our bodies, when the moon and Uranus come together. So, I mean, Uranus rules the nervous system. So, like today, we really got to take care of our nervous system and find ways to really channel that electricity, emotionally. So, we don't want to be making really irrational, impulsive decisions and that can really unground us, because this moon in Taurus really wants to ground and, be okay where it's at. But definitely Uranus and Taurus in its fall position, like it has a hard time being there. So this moon is definitely bringing up some unstable kind of feelings, but it's also giving us a lot of insight of, things that we couldn't really figure. This is a kind of a genius energy where we can really solve issues in very unconventional ways, but only if we're really willing to go against the normal. Like if we're just kind of taking our own route and our own path today to solve situations, especially on an emotional level, that may seem unconventional, usually that's the better outcome when we have the moon and Uranus come together like this. So we definitely just want to expect any possible thing coming our way and any challenges that can come up. Don't take the path that everyone else is taking. We can't be afraid to just pave our own road, and no matter what's going on around us, just stick to what you're doing and what's valuable to you and what's unique to you. And there can be a bit of a detachment emotionally too from situations, which allow us to look at the situation almost like in a fourth dimensional way. So it's kind of giving us this fourth dimensional perspective that can really take us out of our ego and allow us to kind of see things, see the bigger picture, and find unique, unconventional ways to put things together and solve issues. So, I mean, it can be a little unstable, but this is really forcing us, especially with this today. I mean, when the moon, we'll just move the chart forward. So, I mean, by this evening, it's going to be tightening up. The energy is going to be tightening up a little bit here. So, I mean, we got the moon coming off that conjunction with Uranus here this evening, and it's going to square Venus at 26. So Venus is 2 degrees away from its retrograde in its shadow. And Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. So when the moon comes here to square Venus, it's like all things Venus and Taurus related really are being challenged. It's like when it comes to self-worth and just being comfortable. There could be a sense of, especially with this Uranus energy too, it's like man, the surge of electricity is so intense that we can really just want to make moves without thinking, and relationship issues can definitely come up today. This is a day not to really whip out the credit cards and just start swiping. It's like we want to be a little bit more conservative if we can, with this, Uranus energy, the moon squaring Venus. We just got to kind of take a step back and let things happen. Challenges are going to come up, and we just kind of have to face them, because Uranus or Venus is about to go retrograde in 10 days. So once again, I mean, the moon's squaring here, like it's almost like we're seeing we're seeing what this theme of this retrograde is going to be all through the middle of July and August and the first week of September. I mean, Venus won't be out of shadow until October 3rd or 4th. So really, to get completely out of this Venus retrograde cycle here, it's not going to be until the first week of October. So we have a lot coming up when it comes to, you know, our values and our self-worth and, you know, where our roots lie, you know, like what we need to really get by and what we don't need. You know, this is definitely a time of like letting things go. It's like, hey, I don't need this anymore. This does not serve anything. It's taking up space. You know, Taurus can be a hoarder in a sort of way, you know, because Taurus can tend to put emotional value on things and physical possessions, and you know, definitely with this Uranus energy and the moon crossing Uranus, squaring Venus, it's like we really can be faced with letting go of things that we're holding on to and just, you know, may have emotional value, but are just kind of in the way of having a much more stable and sustainable life, you know, because not only is Uranus calling for a more sustainable way and a more sustainable future, especially when it comes to resources and energy. I mean, but that's what Taurus is all about too, is being sustainable, you know, in our physical selves, not just in like the larger structure of things and like energy and things like that. Like it's really being stable within ourselves and knowing who we are, knowing our value. And yeah, we're definitely feeling quite a bit of challenges coming up with that today, and it can really come at us like, you know, a curveball and a change up, you know, from up in the sky, something just falling and hitting you, you know, not literally, but I mean, it's just unexpected. And, you know, it's never what you think it's going to look like, but this is also opening the doors for, the vision, because the vision that you have, like, it's only a vision, but when the vision seems to manifest in a physical way, it's always this realistic, practical, filtered down version of the fantasy, you know. And yesterday we experienced that when the moon crossed Jupiter for the last time while the North Node's in Jupiter. So, I mean, we're beginning to reap the benefits of this Taurus and Jupiter energy, but reaping abundance and manifesting, you know, what we desire, there's two sides to everything. So, you know, the more money you're gonna make, the more bills you're gonna have, the more you're gonna have to pay out. You know, and if you own a business and your business makes more money, you're gonna have to hire people. You're gonna have more responsibility. You know, I mean, it's in that sort of way, which is a good thing. You know, because that's what we are here to do. We're here to build and grow and create things to have a sustainable life, but also like serve a higher purpose. So yeah, there can definitely be some issues today coming up with that. And it can also lead to exciting things, you know, because these challenges can be somewhat of a thrill, especially with Uranus. So yeah, Mars is in Virgo. I mean, it's getting ready to oppose Saturn. So amongst all of this Jupiter and Uranus energy, and definitely this Venus retrograde being squared today, with the challenges that come up, I think all in all, on a higher dimensional level, on a much more Neptunian scale, it's like we're seeing the details that we missed. You know, like with Saturn and Pisces, things can just kind of get like, you know, like it's like a wet floor, you know. It's like you don't want to slip on the wet floor. It's like Mars and Virgo, you know, it's like being very cautious and watching every move and watching every step it takes to really like make sure we're seeing everything clearly and realistically. And sometimes that could be harsh. You know, Mars is can be harsh anyway, but definitely with this Mars opposing Saturn, it's like, okay, like we see the vision, we see the fantasy, you know, we're making it real with this Saturn and Pisces as it approaches Neptune. But also things can get a little, loose. Saturn and Pisces and with this Neptune and Pisces, things can get real loose, and not very solid. And it's like with any Virgo planets that are going to oppose this, this Pisces energy with Saturn and Neptune, it's like, okay, like, you really have to ground that. You got to see the details. You can't you can't bring a vision and a fantasy into reality without having the actual details and the actual things in order and in the right place and just actually doing the physical work. So Virgo is really, it's all about getting dirty. If you got to get dirty, you got to get in the mud. Like, that's what you got to do. So we're starting to see things much more for what they are, especially with Neptune retrograde. It's like, Neptune retrograde is very much so like at the end of the movie and you're in a movie theater and the lights come on, and it's like, oh shit, it's that kind of feeling, where you were in this like tunnel vision of like being so engulfed in this visual on the screen, and then reality sets in and the lights come on and it just kind of shakes you out of it and you get up out of your seat and you walk off, and that's kind of what this energy is kind of reflecting here. So, we're seeing the reality much more clearly and we're getting the details and we're kind of seeing what we've missed. And this is going to be going on for the next week here. So, yeah, this is a building energy. So, yeah, I mean, today's exciting. I mean, there's a lot of curveballs. It really needs us to shift directions, when we need to, because this Uranus and Taurus, like, it wants to shake us out of our comfort zones. It doesn't want us to just be stuck in the same place and doing the same things over and over and getting too caught in a routine. Taurus wants that routine and it wants to be comfortable in that routine day to day. But when Uranus is in Taurus, it's like, sorry, like, now is not a time for that. So we got to find new routines that are much healthier. We don't want to be overspending or overeating especially with Venus squaring the moon today. It's like, yeah, we want to really be finding different ways to innovate our next pathway here, because we are entering into a whole new direction and pathway. And that is unfolding with these nodes getting ready to shift. So it's exciting, but excitement doesn't come without its challenges. It's kind of like if you're watching like car racing or something. It's like people don't even watch car racing to watch the race. They just want to see the cars wreck because it's exciting. It's like any kind of challenge that's going to come up can be exciting and spur you on to the next phase of things. But we're all going through it. We're all going through it right now. And definitely coming into the fall after we're going through all this pretty tense energy, like we're going to be settling into what these nodes are going to be. Venus will go direct in the fall in October. It's like we're going to really be on the other side of things. But for these next couple months, it's like we're all really going through some very intense transits. And yeah, I mean, we share this together. So no matter what, we got to wake up every day and take it as it comes. And yeah, that's our duty. That's our duty. That's why we're here. And we're here to serve and be here for one another and be here for the people who really are going through it. Especially like if you have more Taurus placements, like you're kind of like on the good side of things here. Like you're the one who's maybe feeling like, wow, like, like you may be experiencing people around you who are really going through it, and you're the one who's kind of got to be the stable figure for that person. I mean, if you got Leo placements, I mean, Leo placements are really going through it right now, you know, and the cardinal signs. The cardinal signs and Leo, y'all are definitely feeling it for sure. And I feel for you, you know. And the mutable signs, you know, now that Mars is in Virgo, we're coming into more mutable energy, which we've kind of had a break from that, other than Saturn and Neptune, you know, definitely all through the spring and beginning of summer here. But yeah, if you're Taurus right now, good for you. But I will say Taurus hasn't had a good moment since 2011. 2011 was the last good moment. And these last 10, 12 years for Taurus has been, you know, you've been on the back burner. Taurus is winning now. So, God bless you. It's your job to be the stable figure for the people who aren't necessarily feeling stable right now. So, let's see what we got. We got the Ace of Cups. So no matter what, even when this intense energy is like really coming at us and, you know, things are falling from the sky and random shit's just happening and you can't control it and it's just unexpected and, you know, very, very strange things can happen with this Uranus energy. You know, very strange things that could just kind of uproot our energy and shock us in ways. It's like no matter what, like our cups are full. Our cups are still full no matter what is going on. And definitely as long as we're supporting one another and going through this together, because definitely as Pluto wraps up this Capricorn wildness and Pluto gets into Aquarius, like we really, really are going to have to be there for one another more than ever and more than we've seen in our lives, you know, since, you know, the beginning of the structure that we exist in now. So no matter what, our cups are full and there are still opportunities that are flying in, you know, and these things take time, you know, because if you're on the Taurus side of things, it's like nothing's fast here, you know, none of this is coming fast. And with Venus slowing down here, it's like, you know, it's really helping us realize like, hey, like if we're gonna really allow these, you know, wonderful things to come in, it's like we gotta check the checks and take care of all the things that we may have left behind, you know. And that's what this Mars and Virgo transit's allowing us to do. It's allowing us to have the the penetrable energy to really put things in order and just really clear the decks here and allow us to see things clearly and see the fine print that we may have missed. Because yeah, definitely going into fall, like we're gonna need to really reassess a lot of things about our values and just how we really take care of ourselves, and like realizing and remembering like what we're worth, you know, as individuals. Because the individual with this North Node in Aries is really going to be one of the most important things here coming up over the next 18 months. So, yeah. It's remembering who you are. You know, as just like on an ego level. And ego is not a bad thing. It's just really like realizing like, hey, like this is who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And this is my value and what I'm worth, and I'm not backing down. Like that is what we're going through. And remembering. But the only way we're going to remember is by going through these challenges. So, yeah. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.